It is Monday, June 8th, and I made an audio recording earlier, but I am in a hotel room and I just sat down in the tub. It's pretty dirty here actually, but it was like near 120 for one night. Not like the Residence Inn, I guess, but it's not as clean as the place I used to stay in Emporia for $310 a week. But anyway, my point of making this is just more like as a proof that this really was the day, that I didn't just like do an audio later after some stuff happened. I want there to be proof. So I got a download earlier that I'm supposed to get this room. Not the reason that it even came about at all and entered into my mind was more to qualify for more SNAP benefits, because right now I don't have any, and I'm having to use my money to buy food, and food is expensive, especially at Kroger, but everywhere really. And then the social services man called me today, and the download was basically, I'm gonna upload that too, but that he's part of this secret society. And I know like it's the gang stalking has gotten where it's like constant, and they're gonna, like, he suggested this hotel. There was like a plot if I come here, and so I'm supposed to come here was the message. Not avoid it because it's dangerous, but like almost like say yes to allowing them access to try to do what they think they're gonna do, but they're not gonna be able to do it. But the way that it was kind of put to me is, you're gonna bring down a whole lot more people if you get this room. And really I could only afford to do it for one night. And if I'd done it for two, I'd pretty much not have any money for the rest of the month, and we're still early in the month. And part of me wanted to have faith for that, but I'm like, I just need to know I can like buy tampons if I need to. And anyway, I'm very clairvoyant, and I have all the clairs, and they kind of meld into each other, but the receptionist and a guy who just happened to be in the lobby as I was entering, like their eye movements, like I know what I saw. And you know, even like, I mean, the churches are part of this stuff, and so obviously the government is, and social services is part of the government. That's why the shelters and places that say they help people in need actually, like, they give very little help, and they are energy harvesting and killing. And I know, like, I don't really have privacy. Like, I know probably I'm on film right now, not my camera, but I'm probably being filmed in every area of this hotel suite. And I mean, it's not like I want that, but at this point I just have to accept certain things. Like, I'm not gonna let it make me feel like I can't take a bath, because these people have been watching me for decades. So like, I mean, there's just nothing I can really do about that at this point. Which is kind of interesting, because there had been a spirit that had said you were born to be a porn star, and I had rebuked that spirit. This is probably going about a month ago or so. And I said, any spirit that believes that about me, I don't want around me, and I don't want anything to do with you. And then just today, I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of think I could see that from a different angle. Like, I was born to be a porn star, starring in this illegal porn to bring down this group, because if there had been no illegal porn of me, then this whole thing wouldn't be able to be taken down. Like, I am the reason that, or I'm not the only reason, that's for sure. There's a lot of people who are a victim of this group, like myriads and endless amounts of people. But it needed to happen to me because I'm the one that's being like given the responsibility, or I don't know how being used, however you want to say it, I don't know. But so then I was like, oh wow, oops, maybe I overreacted to that spirit. But I almost chickened out because I'm like, I don't really want to spend that much money, and then the room ends up not being even clean. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's pubic hairs in the towels, and I cleaned the top the best I could, but it's just not clean at all. But I'm gonna enjoy sleeping in a bed. I've been sleeping on a table, on a hardwood table and then before that up on the ground. And the table is, because there's rats there, so it's not really like more comfortable than the ground per se. Like, I have a sleeping bag, it's just high enough up that hopefully the rats will leave me alone. But I'm probably gonna upload this to up here at least after tonight, because, you know, I want people to make the moves that they need to make so they can get caught up, because this is destiny. So I'm not fearful, and my guides, my ancestors were telling me to kind of pull back from how much overconsumption I can tend to do with tarot, because that's how I get a lot of confirmations, and even that maybe some of the people that even give accurate confirmations are actually part of this group, and that was saddening to me. And but I pulled back, and then I felt like I got more downloads, which makes sense because my mind is not taking in and consuming. It's more like I'm meditating more, even just on the bus, without I'm not necessarily sitting in some quote Zen position and trying to meditate. I'm just naturally, looking out the window and meditating. Also, I took a picture. There was, on the bus today, there was a lot of plotting and people smiling at me. I get all these wicked smiles, like, ooh, I know something you don't know. You're gonna get taken out tonight, bitch. That kind of look, like with a smile. And I didn't smile back, but there was a cloud formation, and it looked like, I felt like Spirit was speaking to me through the clouds. And so first I saw this thing that looked like a dragon or something with its mouth kind of open, like over something. And then I don't know if I'll be able to show it in the picture what I actually saw, because it's clouds. But then I'm like, okay, what are you saying to me? And then it was like taking a bigger view, like pulling back my eyes a little, my view. There was an enormous looking dragon with its mouth like devouring the smaller looking dragon that had its mouth like this over, whatever that was supposed to be. Like, obviously it's all cloud. So it was kind of like, they think they're doing this, but we're doing this to them. And you have nothing to worry about. That was the message. And then this was the hotel. I don't want to say the name of it now, but then this hotel was the one, not to get a cheaper one where I maybe could have afforded a few nights, but this one. And I was like, okay. I really feel like I wasn't audible, but I felt like I really got a message, like, so clear, that later when I was like in the lobby and being told prices that were higher than what I had found online, I was like, and I went outside and I was debating on just forgetting it. And I'm like, yes, I know I heard earlier, but I'm just don't really want to spend this money. And so, because I have been thinking for a couple nights, and so anyway, I decided I would just pay for one night, which it's overpriced and it's dirty, but there's a reason. And I know that like these people aren't going to be able to gang stalk me forever, but it has become increasingly just, it's just so constant. I mean, and then it just saddens me really. There's children in this. There's children who are being used to even, like at Starbucks, that's in the Kroger, there's even children that are being used, including teens and including maybe even some younger, being used to like, you know, spy on me and then let whoever know, you know, like this devouring like cannibalism and pedophilia and all this trafficking these people do so they can consume blood and have that electric feel that I was able to have 3 snippets of within 5 minutes as a just to understand, and I do understand. But it turns these people into heartless monsters who will do anything. And there's like just a lot of horrible things that have happened to people, and this has been going on for a long time. Like this is the power behind maybe like, for example, Elvis or the Beatles, groups that, you know, Aerosmith, Metallica, but even the name Drew Barrymore. This was earlier today, and someone had complimented or said I look like Ellen. And I said, do I really look like Ellen, or is it just that we both have short hair? And then he said something about Drew Barrymore, and I haven't actually seen Drew Barrymore lately, so I don't know. I didn't know she had gotten a short haircut. But I was thinking, is she one of them? Like, she's been, you know, an actress, she's a talk show, she's, you know, famous. Is she one of them? And I was just musing it for a few seconds, and the answer was Barrymore. And then that was yesterday actually. And then today, this morning, I was walking to my storage unit, and Drew first made me think of like drawing. But today I got to download. Drew is like more like when you like draw in like fish from the water, pull in. So it's like extracting, like essence, energy, extracting, bury more. Because, you know, this is like a blood death cult basically. And I was like, wow. And I can't think of another example right now, but there's been other times where I like just kind of think about a certain pop star, a certain person's name, and like all of a sudden there's like more depth to the name. It's like, wow, these can't be their names they were born with. Like this is creepy. I can't think of what it was the other day, and I was like, this is crazy. But yeah, Drew Barrymore. I never could have even thought of that. I know that I feel I've been told the worst of this is over, which probably was all those years I was in like complete riddle with anxiety, which was all these people casting hexes and binding me in different ways, using black magic and using like the blood and the body parts of like my son Ethan that was murdered, or using like maybe my menstrual blood and just doing different, you know, magic, dark magic. Magic is real. And I'm magical like naturally, without like trying to have to really seek out things or read a book about how to do a spell. I just naturally like alchemize and use my mind. Now that I'm more aware, I might use my mind to like, I take these people, like these creeps on the bus, and I envision putting them on a stake, like a skewer, like the skewer is like sticking up. I stack the people through their heart, I layer them up, and then I'm taking some kind of, you know, machete, big, huge knife thing, and I'm cutting them. I call it crossing them. They've crossed me all these years, and the cross is used in Christianity and stuff to like represent, you know, something good, but I'm crossing them. So basically I envision cutting them here and then through here, and I envision it as like cutting a sandwich. And then usually they're so despicable, like there's a huge creep factor that I'm like, ugh, I'm not hungry, and the rats don't want that, you know. And like these are the kind of things I do now, which probably sounds a little bit odd, but I think it does something. So we'll see what happens tonight.